Hello and welcome to this yoga flow sequence. I'm Tati and I'll be guiding you through today's class. You won't need any props. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button before we get started in a comfortable seated position. So if cross-legged doesn't feel comfortable, you can always slide a block or pillow underneath your hips to just lift them up a bit. Otherwise, finding a nice tall spine, rolling the shoulders up and back, opening the chest, and then resting the hands gently on your knees. You might like to close your eyes here, taking a nice nourishing deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, releasing, arriving in your practice today, letting go of any to-do lists. This is your time now. And then inhale, open the eyes, sweeping the arms up and over. Exhale, bringing the hands to prayer at the heart space. And here you can interlace your fingers, flip your palms away from you. So you're rounding your spine with the palms facing forward. Inhale. Exhale, raising the arms up with the palms still flipping towards the sky. Lowering the shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, floating the right hand down to the mat. Left arm stretches up and over towards the right side. So finding that nice left side body stretch, and you can stay on your hand or maybe coming down onto the forearm. If that feels good, just try and make sure that you're keeping your left hip sinking towards the earth. Inhale, sweeping the right arm up towards the sky and then switching sides. So left hand comes down on the mat, right arm reaches up and over towards the left side, finding that right body stretch. Again, the option to come down onto the forearm for a bit of an added stretch. If that's in your practice, don't worry. If not, you can always stay on the hand. Just feel into the body what feels good today. You really want to open the chest up towards the sky. Inhale, coming back through center, and exhale, hands at heart space. And we're going to just do that a few times, a little bit faster. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms forward, breathing in. Exhale, open, expand the chest. Inhale, right hand floats down, left arm reaches up and over. And exhale, floating through center and switching sides over towards the left side body stretch. Inhale, coming back through center, and exhale, bringing the prayer to the heart space. Last round. Inhale, flip the palms forward, rounding the spine. Exhale, open up the chest, gentle back bend. Inhale, right arm floats down, left arm reaches up and over. Inhale, coming back through center and switching sides. Inhale, coming back through center, and exhale, placing the left hand onto the right knee. The right arm floats behind, pressing the right fingertips into the mat, so you're really finding a nice tall spine, and then exhale, twisting over towards the right. You can either gaze over towards the right or over your right shoulder. Breathing in here. And exhale, coming through center, right hand on left knee, reaching the left arm up, finding length. Exhale, twisting over towards the right side. Inhale, release, and then finding onto all fours, tabletop position. So stacking the shoulders above the wrists, the knees are underneath the hips, and then taking a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, dip the belly, gazing forward. Exhale, rounding the spine, pressing the floor away. Inhale, expand. Exhale, round. And just flowing through a few rounds in your own breath. Finding stillness, and from here lifting the right knee up so your thigh is parallel to the mat, and then just starting to draw big circles in one direction. So using the knee to lead the movement, warming up the hip joint. And then switching directions, drawing those circles. Inhale, stepping the right foot to the outside of the right hand towards the top of the mat, keeping your left knee tucked. And if your hands can't quite reach the mat, you might want to place some blocks underneath. And just hanging out here in lizard for one breath. And then exhale, shifting your hips back, straighten the right foot, and you can always keep a bend in this knee. And maybe walking the hands a little bit back if that feels comfortable, coming into this variation of half splits. Inhale, lunging forward into lizard, open the chest. Exhale, shifting back. And moving between your lizard with the inhale forward. Exhale, shifting back into half split variation. And just doing this a few rounds. You can go as fast or as slow as you like. Try using your breath to guide you between the movements, so linking the physical postures with the breath. And then exhale, walking that right foot to the center of the mat, placing the left hand next to the right foot and peeling the right arm up towards the sky. So you're welcome to stay here in your low lunge twist, or option to tuck the left toes and lift the knee up off the mat. Don't worry if you're wobbling or it's your first time trying. Gazing either up towards the fingertips, or if you need a bit of added stability, gazing down towards the mat. Exhale, release, dropping the knees and finding back into all fours, tabletop position. And this time we're going to work on the other side, so lifting the left knee up off the mat and then starting to draw those big circles in one direction. And then changing the direction, using the knee to lead the circles, lubricating the hip joints. And inhale, stepping the left foot forward to the outside of your left hand, coming into lizard lunge. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, shifting back, coming onto the heel of the left foot, toes pointing up, finding into a half split variation. Inhale, shifting forward, lizard, breathing in. And exhale, shifting back. Continuing with your own breath. Feeling into the sensation across the back of your leg, your hips, your back. Just noticing where in the body you're feeling. Make this your own practice, so holding as long or as fast as you like. And exhale. Inhale, pausing in lizard, breathing in. Exhale, walk the foot to the center of the mat. Right hand rests alongside the left foot. And from here, reaching the left arm up towards the sky, finding into low lunge twist. Breathing in. And exhale, option to tuck the right toe, finding into revolved side angle. And exhale, this time framing the front foot and stepping back into downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Maybe shaking the head yes and no. And then finding stillness, rooting through the fingers and the toes. Perhaps closing down the eyes or softening the gaze. And then inhale, looking forward, walking the feet towards the top of the mat, finding into ragdoll pose. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips on the mat or the shins, finding a flat back. Exhale, frame the feet, step yourself back into a high plank position, breathe in. And exhale, option to lower the knees or coming down in chaturanga, keeping the elbows tucked. Inhale, cobra, peeling the chest forward, pressing the pelvis into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts towards the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward between the hands and lifting yourself up into a warrior two position. So I'll come face you this way around. You're in your warrior two, right toes pointing towards the top of the mat, gazing over the right fingertips, breathe in. Exhale, flip the front palm and reverse your warrior, reaching the right fingertips towards the back of the mat, breathing in. And exhale, finding side angle pose. Right hand rests on the inside of the left foot, left arm reaches up. And if this feels like you don't have quite enough space, you can always bring the right hand to rest, or the right forearm to rest on the right knee. Breathing in here. And exhale, frame the front foot, step back into a high plank position, breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, so rolling onto the backs of the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up towards the sky, three-legged dog. And stepping the foot forward between the hands, rooting the back foot. Inhale, windmill the arms open into warrior two, and I'll come back to face you. Breathing in, gazing over the left fingertips. Nice strong foundation. Inhale, flip the front palm, leaning forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, coming through warrior two, placing the left hand to the inside of the right foot, right arm reaches up into side angle pose. And again here the option to come into this expression, or if you need a bit more space, resting the left forearm on the left thigh. Inhale, gazing forward from framing the front foot, step back into plank, flowing through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gazing forward, walk, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Side out, good job. Inhale, rolling yourself all the way up to standing. Finding into Dadasana, our mountain pose. Big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Rolling the shoulders up and back. Palms facing forward. And then softening the gaze just ahead of you, or perhaps closing the eyes. sensing into how your body feels rooted on the earth. And then stepping the feet about hip width distance apart, and I'll come to face you this way. Clasping the fingers and bringing them to the right hip crease. So you're placing your fingers to the right side. And then letting the right ear fall towards the right shoulder, finding a nice stretch across the left side of the neck. Inhale, release, and just moving the fists over towards the left hip crease, and then gently letting the left ear drop towards the left shoulder. I really like to close my eyes here and just really feel into the stretch across the right side of the neck, letting the right shoulder drop. And open the eyes. Stepping your feet wide now, so along the length of the mat. Heels are in, toes are out, and sinking yourself low into goddess. Hands can rest on the hips, or you can bring them into prayer pose, sinking those hips a little lower, breathing in. I'm just going to invite a little bit of fire into our practice today, practicing tapas, so self-discipline, willpower, just breathing here. And then exhale, placing the hands on the thighs, dropping and rolling the right shoulder forward, gazing over the left shoulder, breathing in. And exhale, coming back through center, dipping the left shoulder forward, gazing over the right shoulder, which is rolling back. Exhale, coming back through center, hands up prayer. And for a bit of added spice, option to lift the right heel up off the mat, lower down, left heel up off the mat, lower down, and maybe lifting both heels up at the same time. Your thighs should really be burning now. Taking nice deep breaths. Exhale, release, and then heels out, toes in, folding forward, releasing all that effort. Hands resting on the mat, or you can start walking them back towards the heels, or maybe holding onto the backs of the feet, whatever feels good in your practice today. You can always have a little bend in your knees, and then letting yourself fold forward. Inhale, pressing the hands gently into the mat just ahead of your nose, and then slowly coming all the way up into a standing position. From here, turning the right toes out towards the right side, left toes turn to face the left side, and slowly bending into the right knee, sinking into a squat position. And you can stay in a high squat or sinking all the way down into skandasana. Hands can be on the mat for added support, or you can bring them to prayer. Pressing gently into the right knee to open up. Checking that your left toes are actively pointing up towards the sky. And breathing in. Inhale, placing the hands on the mat for stability to shift over, or try do it in one go. Switching into skandasana or side lunge on the other side. So if you're in your side lunge, your hips will be lifted a bit higher, otherwise coming down into skandasana, right toes pointing up. And you might notice that the side feels a bit easier or maybe a bit harder. That's totally normal. Our sides aren't always equal, so just noticing. breathing here. Sometimes in these challenging poses, we tend to forget to breathe. So letting the breath flow smoothly. Inhale, release, walking the hands to the center, and then heel toe the feet all the way together, sinking the hips down into malasana yogi squat. So it can feel quite nice to move the knees from side to side initially, just to help warm up those hips a little bit more, and then pressing maybe the elbows into the knees, hands in prayer at the heart space, or always the option to keep them in front of you for balance. Don't worry if your heels are off the mat, that's fine. And exhale, hands on the mat, lifting the hips up, coming into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into plank, and you can come straight into downward dog or use this opportunity for a final vinyasa. So inhale, chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra, and we all meet in downward facing dog. Breathing in. Exhale, lower the knees to the mat so you're in a tabletop position. Reaching or placing the left hand just underneath your face, reaching the right arm up, stretching, and then threading the right arm underneath the body, bringing the right shoulder and cheek onto the mat. Left arm can reach forward and to thread the needle. Inhale, pressing into the left hand, and then switching sides, so right hand is in the center, left arm reaches up, finding length. Exhale, threading the right arm underneath the body. Right hand can stay next to the face, or stretching it up towards the top of the mat. Left cheek is resting on the mat, and I quite like to close my eyes here, so if this feels comfortable for you too, I invite you now to slow the breath, close the eyes. Inhale, gently pressing yourself back up, and then bringing the big toes to touch. Knees are wide, shifting the hips back, and walking the arms forward into child's pose, resting the forehead on the mat. And just taking the next few moments here in quiet as we check in how we feel now at the end of practice. Letting everything go. Inhale, start to deepen the breath. Slowly walking the hands back towards the body and finding into a comfortable cross-legged position. So the invitation is to keep the eyes closed for now, resting the hands on the knees. Placing the hands one on the other at the heart space, connecting with the sensation of your heartbeat, finding gratitude for yourself for finding some time in your day to connect back with your body, your mind, and your spirit. Lowering the gaze. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I really hope that you enjoyed this yoga flow sequence. Let me know in the comments if you did. Of course, if you haven't already subscribed, it's a great way to support this channel, and I really look forward to seeing you on the mat again real soon. If there are any further classes that you want to do, maybe tomorrow morning, or you want to get into habit of practicing, I've linked a few playlists in the description bar for you below. All my love.